I can record. Yes, I can. Oh, we're on!
Yay!
Yay! Yeah.
Let's start out. Oh, it's recording.
Oh, this is so much fun though, because we're learning so many new things and everything.
Yes, that is the best part about all of this. You get to learn so much, and then you can use this for further calls or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for working with us and being our first
interviewee. No, second. We had Amber last week.
Oh yeah. But thank you. We really appreciate that. And learning and teaching us about technology on the way.
Yeah, really.
No, you are most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So let's introduce her.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you go by Nurulain or is it Nur?
No, my full name is Nurulain, but I go by Nur because it's easier to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we were like, okay, we met you so briefly that time in Jeddah, and
yes.
I mean, it was like several days, but still there was so much going on.
Right.
That and me personally, I'm terrible with names. I am so bad with names. And then if they're difficult names, like not that Nurulain or Nur is difficult, but when it's names that we're not used to in our language, like John and Peter is a lot easier to remember, right? Even though I don't. So, absolutely, but so it was either Nur, but I remember it was Nur, but then your message, your contact is Nurulain, so I was like, oh, I wonder which one it is. So anyway.
Yeah, no, it's Nurulain, but Nur.
And you're a psychotherapist, right? Correct?
I am a psychotherapist, I'm a life coach, and I am also a digital marketing consultant.
Oh, wow.
Well, that explains all the good advice you're giving us.
Yes. That's how I know all these things.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. But Nurulain is sitting in Jeddah, and we met her in January, but we were there for the 10-day keto drink keto challenge.
Yes.
And it was fabulous meeting. We're super excited.
She's a wonderful, very upbeat person. For the days that we were able to have conversations with her, her coaching skills, or when we had our conversations with her, she was just so upbeat. It just really was. It was great for us.
Great spirit, very inspirational. Full on, true rhino charging forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys. No, it was just as amazing meeting you. This is why I'm here, and I love what you guys are doing for people, especially the daily chronicles. I follow that, and it is such good content, really. I mean, it helps you, even if it's like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, it really helps you get through the day.
Oh, thank you. We've had amazing positive feedback as well. And, sometimes we feel like we're just like blabbing.
Yeah. A lot of
and trying to have fun, but there are some real issues at hand, some reality checks for not just us, but for a lot of people, and we enjoy, even if it's just 2-3 minutes, giving somebody else maybe some comfort or a little break from whatever situation that they may be in at the moment, and again, it's just a little something for us to do as well.
Yeah, adapting to the conditions, right?
Yes, and we don't know how long this is going to be, so you might as well adapt and settle in and learn a lot more through the process while we're into this, which is something that we all do need to understand. It's not just about settling in according to the situation. I mean, via technology, it's about how we connect with ourselves and our family as well.
Yeah,
right. And it's this break, whatever you want to call it, that has just been thrust upon us, and how we handle that situation, and we're all handling it in different ways, but fear maybe at first, the anxiety, then dealing with the kids, and then co-living all together 24/7. I mean, there's a lot of
in restricted
space. I mean, and then some people have. I mean, we. Knock on wood, we inshallah, we have this background. I mean, we still have a beach walk, whereas other people are in apartments that they cannot go out. So trying to.
I'm one of those people.
Yes, you're stuck in an apartment, right?
So
I'm stuck in an apartment.
How are you keeping yourself uplifted and motivated?
So yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so honestly, for me, it's not that bad, but I'll tell you why. So even though I am in an apartment and I don't have any out, I don't have any way that I can go out until and unless I need to go buy groceries or it's an emergency, which God forbid has not happened yet. But during this time and before, I have learned that the only reason why this is difficult for us as human beings is because we are not very in we're not very in touch with our own self inside. What this time is doing for all of us is it is forcing us to look inside, which is something that we're not used to doing, right? We're always busy, we're always going out, we're always in touch with other people, and in our language it's called external locus of control, which is why I'm sure you've seen so many memes about introverts doing this amazingly and extroverts like having serious issues with all of this. And why that is because is introverts are more in touch with themselves, as in extroverts get their energy from other people and get approval from other people, and that's how they get their energy and that's how they move forward. So the problem that we're having nowadays is that we're being forced to look within.
Yes.
And we have so many issues within us that we're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. And that's when the panic starts.
Yeah.
And in order to come over that, what do? We watch TV, we watch news, we watch, we're avidly available on social media and we're looking at numbers, which makes us even more anxious because you're like, oh my God, when is this going to end? Oh my God, I mean, my country is going into further lockdown. And like for us, for Jeddah, our closing time was still 7. We were on curfew after 7 p.m. But since yesterday, our curfew time has been reduced to 3 p.m. So now after 3, we cannot go out until and unless it's a very serious emergency. And even if it is an emergency, we're supposed to call 997, which by the way is a number for people, like they really need to remember this number. So we're supposed to call 997 and then they are going to get in touch with us. And that's how we can go out. Otherwise, we cannot. Like, we're not allowed. We get a heavy fine, 10,000 Riyal fine, if we're going out without any reason.
Right. And even stiffer penalties, even jail time as well, right?
Yes. Because people were not listening and, they were still like, oh, whatever, I'll just pay the fine. And, I have a lot of money.
People are not taking it. I mean, people are not taking it seriously because they don't think they're going to be affected. The interesting part you were bringing up there was, the being on social media, watching the news, watching, following the numbers and so forth. And I thought about that this morning when on my walk, when I was filling my cup. Hello. That it was one of those things that is, you need to be informed about what's going on, but you also have to control how you're staying informed. Right. Because there's so much information and everybody has an opinion, and it's fine to have that, but make sure that you get your information from a reputable source.
Right, the correct information.
That I think is the most important thing to remember in this time, is because we are sharing, and not just me or any other people, we are sharing a ton of information that we aren't even 100% sure of. Like just the other day, there was this person who I saw, she had posted that, oh, now we have a vaccination for COVID-19. And I was like, please do not share stuff like that, because we do not, you are telling people, you're giving people hope, and then you're taking it away, which is wrecking them emotionally, because they're like, oh yes, finally I can get out of this. No, please do not share information that is incorrect. Do not share information that is from the wrong source, which there are only 2 or 3 correct sources: WHO, CDC, and the MOH for Saudi Arabia right now, right? These are the only 3 sources that I personally believe that you should be using to share. That's it. Do not share anything else, because people, it is so easy to manipulate data right now, because I can use Photoshop and I can do whatever I want right now, but none of it is true. And
the data is not necessarily 100% correct either, because it's
exactly
based on on how many people have actually been tested, how many has been diagnosed,
yes,
and so forth. And then so we don't know the data yet, right? So
we don't know.
absolutely use the sources that are reputable, the ones that you know, and I think the most important thing is to keep that information at a distance, right? And again, like we talked about in our first week of our daily chronicles, was that you need to control the controllables, right?
Oh, yes.
And that is from your core, and that is you, number one, and then your family, your immediate surrounding, which is your apartment, or your where you're living, or my house or her house, and then from there you can make decisions based on that. You cannot control what's going on in the rest of the world, and you can't control the information.
Exactly.
And you know,
that is so on point. Yes,
it is right now. It is a day-to-day life living.
For some people, it's an hour to hour.
Exactly. And we have tried, you know, everything, and the first 7 days of this over here for my household, it was going back to the basics. It was, you know, having our space, living with 4 people at the same time in the house, trying to use internet, trying to get school going,
yeah.
You know, who's taking the dog out, who's cleaning up the dish, just all of it.
Yeah.
And because everything was just thrown, you know, and it wasn't like, oh, we're going to be off for a week, you know, vacation. It was, we still had responsibilities. We still had to do things, each one of us. And putting those in place, and it was a lot of turmoil that first 7 days.
Yeah, a lot of people think
exactly.
it's a vacation.
It's not a vacation.
It's not a staycation.
We immediately put things in place, trial and error, and 3 weeks now. We're going 3 weeks now. Things are finally settling down. We all have our assigned rooms for the day, our assigned times to be out, which has made, you know, things a lot better for us in how we're doing our household.
You know, parents are going to have to put the hammer down and be a little bit more parenting, I guess, to a certain degree. And the kids are going to have
to step up as well. I mean, it's not just playtime.
Exactly.
You know, there is school
to
a certain extent. I'm not being as hard on my kids about school, because when we have internet issues and they start panicking, well, I can't listen to the teacher, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm not going to be upset with you because you couldn't get online to learn your lesson. However, if we can make it up later in the day, or contact the teacher, this lesson, then we'll go back and review it. But you know, right now, I mean, I don't want them to get panicked or get upset over something that they can't control.
Well, they're not in control over. We go back to controlling the controllables, right?
You know, and so
yes.
You know, and I told them, if you can't get on the internet to do this, well, then at least go find a book and read for 15 or 20 minutes. I don't want to see you goofing off, but you know, you could do something else.
But this goes for the adults as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly, I think a very good point that you both brought up right now is a routine, a schedule that we all must have, because it helps. Basically, as human beings, we adhere, even though we don't like the process of coming to a particular routine, but it is that we crave within. We want a certain routine. We want a certain basically a predictability to what I will do for the rest of my day. And once that is set up, it sort of gives me ease. It gives my mind ease. Okay, I know today is Monday. Today is my laundry day. Or for example, today is my cleaning day. Because everything that we're doing by ourselves.
Yeah, and don't you think that right now, those routines are even more important because everything's so uncertain?
Yes.
And that goes for the children.
Exactly. So that is the constant, because everything else outside is so inconsistent and so vulnerable right now. We need certain amount of you know, a comfort zone, and this routine is our comfort.
Exactly.
And we need to find that. And everybody out there, whoever is watching this, I would really, really take this time to tell them that please find your own peace wherever it is, and whatever it is, like you guys have found yours. You guys have found how to work with your children, how to work with your spouse. I have found, I basically am living with my husband 24/7, which honestly has never happened before. We're both, I mean, yes, we both have our own work situations, and this is I think the first time ever that we're together all the time. And I'm getting to know him even more. I mean, we've been married for a very long time, but still there's so many things that we're learning about each other, and it's amazing.
Again, it's reconnecting not only with yourself, but reconnecting with your own family members and your spouse or significant other or whoever. I mean, I'm learning things about my kids that, you know, obviously they've had or ongoing, and I just didn't pay attention to. But now that we're in the home,
exactly,
I'm like, wow, Matthew, you're very funny. I mean, these things that are coming out, or I'm noticing.
You didn't have time for that before.
I didn't have time to really notice, and I'm like,
yes,
wow. Or even my husband, and my husband is now doing things that he never. I mean, he's doing his part. And you mentioned Jim as well as doing his part. My husband's cooking breakfast now for all of us, and that never happened before. You know, I would always get up early and take the dog out and rush to do my workout and get back to get breakfast ready.
Yeah, I think it actually creates a situation where people take on responsibilities within the family unit, and it develops a a sense of team
spirit. Yes,
right. And
yes,
it's a perfect time to teach or to encourage, not to teach, that's not the right word, but to encourage proper family social behavior.
Yeah.
That has not been around for a
while. Going back to the basics.
Yeah.
For a very long time. It has not been around because long back, when we had no social media, we had no internet, we had nothing of this sort. People were used to living in a unit. They knew what they had to do. They knew, okay, this time, that's it. Everything ends. We're going to sit together. We're going to have a dinner or whatever it is that they used to have.
God forbid
they used to have that together and do their duties.
Yeah. God forbid that you actually have to talk to your family members.
I just said that last night to my family.
Supplies. You know, that you're actually supposed to have a conversation, a sit down dinner, and talk to each other instead of, oh,
exactly.
No, do this. And
of course, I mean, and everybody has their days, and, you know, there's going to be some quiet times, or, you know, I'm so done talking to you or whatever. You know, again, it's finding what works in your immediate family or your life,
in your core group.
Life.
Yep.
Yeah. And
basically that's what you need to find out. Also, another thing that we do need to find out is, one, what works. I mean, you and me, we definitely have figured out what works for us, but for all of the people out there, because I'm sure you have heard as well, people are actually moving towards depression. People are moving towards more negative thoughts. People are you know, they're feeling suffocated because none of them have been used to, again, because why all this is happening is because we're being forced to face everything that goes on in our head, which is something that happens at night. You know how you go to bed at night and then everything starts coming back? And in usual days.
What do you, as a psychotherapist, suggest for these people to work? How could they work with this? Because everybody has their own way, right? I mean,
exactly. So what I would suggest is definitely fall into a routine and figure out every day, spend half an hour and write down, start journaling, see what it is that is bothering you.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not used to this. We're not used to figuring out what is bothering us. We're like, you know, getting by the day, get up, go to work, come back, figure out what you need for dinner, eat, sleep, repeat, so on and so forth. Make plans for the weekend, right? But right now, there are no plans. You're just at home. So what you do is sit down with yourself and use this time, write what is bothering you, write what your thoughts are, and the next day reflect and find solutions. Try to be solution oriented and figure out the things that are in your control and figure out the things that are not in your control, and learn. You know, there's this very simple prayer that I personally go by: oh God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the strength to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So right now we can use this time to figure out the wisdom to know the difference and accept the things that I cannot change. Like, I cannot go out and treat corona. right? I mean, even if it's hurting me and the number of people who are dying, I don't have the solution. What I can do is control the things that are in my hands. I can stop my family from going out. I can, form a team at my place, whether it's or connect with the people that I have not been in contact with for a very long time.
Again, from the core outwards, right?
Yeah.
Because you can only do what you can do, and if you do this, and then you can work with your people, your family, or the people that you are in touch with, that it creates a ripple effect.
Exactly, because while you are another thing that I'm a person who believes in energy a lot. I believe in vibes a lot. When somebody comes and sits with you, you know how there are some people who you will feel like, oh my god, I love this person, I love the energy that this person has. That is because that person is in touch with themselves. You were saying something.
No, I was saying,
I
was pointing at you. You have that.
Yeah.
You have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then
honestly, I have worked very hard for this, because if you had met me like 10 years ago, I was a very disturbed person. I have worked very hard to reach the place that I am at. And it is not an easy process. So this is another thing that people need to understand, that it is okay if it is difficult. Please do not freak out if it feels like this is a tough task, because it is, right? I mean, when we're studying, when we're learning new things, nothing is ever easy, right? I mean, it is not supposed to be easy. And accept that it is not going to be easy. Once you accept that fact, the rest of it just falls into place. Okay, it's not easy. What's next? I'm up for this challenge. Look at it as a challenge, right? Look at it as a challenge, as figuring out what you need to do to make yourself at peace. Yeah. Do yoga, or do some mental exercises, do breathing exercises. Okay, it's different for everybody, which is where therapists
come in. The thing that people forget, because they're always looking at other people to get the
exactly.
Now you have to ask yourself, what works for me? Right. Because what works for Norma doesn't work for me, and vice versa. And the same with what works for you.
Exactly.
And the circumstances that we are under are just that way, right? So you have to adapt, and it's easy to look at the other person and say, oh my gosh, she's off her rocker today. What the hell is she thinking?
Exactly.
Oh, I want to do what she's doing. And it's I mean, even just for me, it's been quite enlightening, as I say. I want to call it enlightening, because I don't want to look at the negatives, because what you see is what your life is going to be. So your perception
exactly.
So and
I'll give you an example here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I have to give you an example here. So I know this influencer that I avidly follow on Instagram, and she has been somebody who works from home. And I see her, she wakes up every day, she dresses up, and then she sits on her table and she works like that. And then she has a certain routine. And I am in such awe of that person. And like you said, we try to do what other people do. So I tried it one day, and it frustrated me, because I couldn't get up, and I couldn't dress up, and I couldn't sit on my table. Because for me, it's just like, wear a nice shirt, be in your pajamas, and work. So that's the kind of person I am. And I have figured out that that's what works for me.
That's so funny. It's so funny, because I was just telling, before this video, Elsa looked at me and she's like, oh, you have makeup on. I was like, yeah, I'm trying. But you know what? It frustrated me, because my husband came home to pick me up to bring me here. And it frustrated me, because I was doing, makeup or just fixing my hair, which is not that I don't fix my hair or get dressed every day, but it was way out of the norm for us here, because we're out about. We just wear our normal stuff, and and I was like, no, I can't do this every day. I just,
But
exactly. I just can't.
I've made a point of that, to get up and make sure that I after my workout, I shower, not until later in the evening, because we tend to just let it go. And then do I do my hair? No, I've never done my hair. That's never been a part of my MO. But I am putting makeup on now on a daily, not daily, but pretty much daily basis, which I never do otherwise. And I'm just saying,
this is something that you learned about yourself, that this is something that maybe is something that you could probably continue even after this is over. And I've learned that I hate this. The only thing that I can get up and do is make my hair. I just tie my hair up and I sit, because I work from home nowadays, the whole digital marketing thing where I'm working from home, and that's all I do. I get up, I put on a nice clean shirt, and I just tie my hair and I sit in front of the computer with my cup of tea.
Right.
And that's what works for me.
Just this far up is being shown. So, you know, I get that. We get that, you know.
Exactly. So that's what I'm doing. And the other day, I actually dressed up. So my husband and me were working on the same table, and he looks at me, he's like, "What's wrong with you?"
It happens all the time. That happened to me before when I was teaching, you know. I was always in my fitness gear, and then I was going out for lunch one day, and this woman stops and she says, "Osa, I didn't recognize you. You look feminine." And I'm like, I look feminine. Why? Because I'm wearing a skirt, you know,
exactly,
normal clothes. I said, "Well, thank you," and I carried on, you know. But again, now going back to the serious, this can be a serious thing for some people. You know, put it on.
It works for them.
People can have a massive reaction to that and turn inward in a negative way. Right. So
that is something very, very important. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that's so important. If it works for you, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, right? If it works for you, you stick to it. You stick to it like, you know, like somebody has put glue stick on you or something, but you stick to it and you do what works for you.
Right. And that's, again, going back to what you said, they're going to have to find themselves. They're going to have to figure out what it is that they like, what it's going to take for them to get through their day, and work with that and build on that going forward.
Exactly. I feel like this is a very good time, even though, yes, it is all negative outside. We are not in a very good time. Let's just accept that. Okay. Globally, we're going through, and pardon my language, we're going through a shit time right now. Right. But if we look at it as to what I can get out of it, there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong in looking at the other side, because some people feel guilty. They're like, "Oh my God, there are people out there who are dying, and you're telling me to use this time, and you're telling me to get the most out of it." Yes, I am telling you to get the most out of it, because you can.
Yeah, it's almost like we're getting a second chance here, right? We've mentioned that in our chronicles too, that, you know, Mother Nature, she's put us in.
Yes, and you are.
Yeah. Oop, what happened? Our internet is now a little bit unstable. Okay, we're
so
back.
We might have to,
we're back. No, but the interesting part is also that, you know, I go back to, and everybody's talking about it on the internet and social media and everywhere. It's like, you know, you need to be grateful. You need to be grateful today, because you know, we're sitting here for whatever position you're in your life, and you know, it's all different. Oops.
We have to hurry.
Oh shoot! Where did you go?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me see where we are.
But
there you are. Okay.
We're running out of time. It's telling us.
We got 10 minutes to go. But
okay.
Part is that people
we can wrap it up.
Yeah. No, but people are, you know, people think that other people have it better, right? Because we have so many people, we have so many flaws in society. But this situation affects everybody the same.
Everybody.
Right? So whether
For sure.
you're on the 10th floor and you're on the 2nd floor or on the bottom floor, it's really irrelevant. We still have to be grateful for what we have, and what we are experiencing,
and love who you have in your life right now, and be be grateful for what you have at this moment, because tomorrow again is never promised to us.
No.
It's
exactly. It never was. It never was promised to us.
Exactly.
I have two friends whose family members have one is a family member who's passed away from the virus, and then a family member's close friend has passed away. So, you know, it's a lot closer than people think it is.
Yeah. It is very true. Very true. Right? One of our friends one of our friends, one of my our friends had a very serious attack, and we thought it was the virus, but alhamdulillah, it was not the virus. But the reality that sunk in at that point of time, it was insane. It was insane because it just hits you. The reality of it hits you when it starts reaching people that you know, right? So I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are in this reality, and we're really sorry, and we hope that this time ends as soon as possible. But while it lasts, all we can do is make the most out of it, and take care of ourselves.
Right. So what are your top 3 suggestions then out of a psychotherapist's point of view?
Start journaling. Figure out a routine, what works for you. Definitely take out some physical exercise time. Definitely. I know that the third one is a little difficult. It is difficult for me as well. I'm not going to lie. I have been very lazy. But the days I do it, my mind just lights up like a light bulb. And I'm not kidding. Also, I'm going to add a fourth one. Learn a skill. Learn a skill. You are going to fall in love with yourself once you start learning a skill.
Yes.
I like that.
I like that too. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah. When you were talking about exercise, this is going to be a good one for our followers because we've asked them to march, and this is going to be almost while they're watching us. So this march in place. So this is going to be almost 40 minutes. Yay!
Yes.
You know, awesome.
Well, thank you.
You know
so
what?
much. Oh, go ahead.
No, I say thank you too, but I just want to say, hey, this has been awesome.
Yes.
I think we need to do this again.
Yes. You know,
we will. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was amazing even for me. I get to say so many things that I've been thinking about. It out. I really hope this helps somebody, and if it helps, please comment, and we will do this again, and share it as much as possible.
I was just going to say, maybe we could do a weekly session with the psychotherapist
where they can ask questions.
We'll do this.
Yes.
Better with our technology, so we'll be able to do it live as well, so you can answer questions as they.
Perfect. I am up for it. I am totally up for it. Count me in.
Oh man, we love it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Noor.
Thank you. Take care, you guys.
And we'll be in touch.
Yeah. All right.
For sure. Take care. See you.
Bye. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Same for you.
Yeah.